Stop letting poor people program you. That's why you're fucking broke. It is not luck. Only poor people believe that making money is luck, and they have programmed you to believe that it's also luck because it helps them cope with the fact that they're not rich and they're not taking responsibility for it. So it's not their fault, and since it's not their fault, they're not doing anything about it. The second you take full responsibility for something, you have to fucking do something about it. So most people do what Andrew Tate called ostriching or some shit. Ostriching, he said they stick their head in the ground. Like if they don't take responsibility, they don't have to do anything about it. And since they don't have to do anything about it, they're going to find a way to cope to tell you why something outside of them is the reason that they don't have something they desire. Money, their body being fit, etc., etc., etc. So you have to not listen to people who are poor. And I'm not just talking about money, finances poor. I'm saying they're poor, like they're fat, right? No one wants to be like super fucking fat and disgusting, right? No one wants to be super fucking skinny and disgusting. So like find a person who's healthy and looks good and is like pretty shredded enough or whatever, and figure out how they think. That is a rich person in the world of health and fitness. Okay? In finances, a rich person might be something else for you. And it's going to be your definition, but everyone's going to have similar definition. Everyone wants to be healthy. Everyone wants to have money abundance. Everyone wants to have good relationships. Who the hell doesn't want that? Psychopaths? So unless you're a psychopath, which most of you aren't psychopaths, some of you are, so you're excluded. But unless you're a psychopath, you don't want bad shit in your life like that. So you're going to choose, you want good things. So find people who are rich in those areas and study them. You need beliefs in the mindset of a rich person in an area to achieve the goals that they have, because when you think like them, you'll act like them. When you act like them, you'll get results like them. So you need mentors. You only need one mentor at a time, but like for different skills. So in your body, you're going to need multiple mentors over time because you want to learn about like the anatomy of your body and the muscles in your body and the nutrition of your body and on and on and on. And you have to learn from people. I like to learn from people who are like multifaceted. They're multidisciplinary. They are learning every single thing in their area, and they're learning in areas outside of their area. They do what Charlie Munger calls jumping jurisdictions in their disciplines. They're able to be not just psychologists, but psychologists, human behavior therapists, who are also happen to be scuba divers. And you might say, why the hell does that matter that they're a scuba diver? It's because they will think outside of the box and approach their thing that everyone else approaches like them. So psychologists and human behavioral therapists, they will approach their thing from an angle that those guys cannot, because those guys are siloed into those one things. So people who jump jurisdictions, right? That scuba diver also probably reads about rockets or something. He's just a curious person, and this person that's curious and jumps jurisdictions approaches things in a very creative way. So it's more their worldview is more developed and thought through around a thing. They have seen their thing through more perspectives and angles. And so I like to study those people and listen to those people and become one of those people myself. Okay, so you might call this a polymath. Like Leonardo da Vinci was into shadows, but he was also obsessed with like anatomy, and he was obsessed with obviously painting, and he's obsessed with angles and all this other shit, right? So be able to jump jurisdictions. That's how you get as smart as possible, in my opinion, right? Charlie Munger, he said, to the man with a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Okay, to the man with only a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. So don't just have a hammer, get more tools. Okay, study multiple disciplines. So anyways, yeah, I just did this video a minute ago for like 20 minutes, and I was giving all these ideas that sit in my mind, deep into my subconscious, and I was pulling them out and giving them to you guys about finances and how to like succeed in the world and how to pull yourself out of being in the depths of despair, of poor, broke beliefs and all these things and all the sauce. But it got deleted. The video got deleted. Basically, the mic audio didn't record at all, so there was no audio on the video, and yeah, so it's gone. So I don't get to reflect on that to see how I can get better at talking, and I don't get to like share that obviously with the world. But this is the thing I believe about persistence. If you endure, you will succeed. And if you cannot endure, you will not. Okay? Nietzsche said, the only thing that proves whether a man is worth his salt or not is whether or not he endures. Endure. Like that's really the word. Like persistence is solving problems in the direction of your goal until you achieve the goal. Okay? And it's staying the path, right? No. It's solving problems in the direction of your goal. That's persistence. Endurance is staying the path. Endurance is how long can you do that? And the longer you can do this, the more you will succeed. So for me, even if the rep goes wrong or I failed, like the failure is now in the past and the past doesn't exist. I'm just here in the moment. I'm looking forward. Right? Mark Andreessen he's a billionaire who's like sold .com and shit like that. And someone asked him in an interview once, they said, so Mark, if you could go back to when you were 20 and change anything, would you? And he said, I don't know. I've never thought about it. And the interviewer was like, what do you mean you never thought about it? What? And then he's like, well, I've never thought about it, and I don't want to think about it now. He's like, all good things happen moving forward. He's like, let's face forward. And he didn't even answer the question. He's like, I don't want to think about the past. What's the past going to do for me? Like, it's like, I'm here and I want to go there. I'm just going to be here and go there. Like, I don't need to do all that other stuff. So what I'm saying is remain here, and when you want to persist, realize that you just need to keep solving problems in the direction of your goal, and you can persist for an unlimited time. So you can, if you want to work 4 hours a day, you can persist for 4 hours a day. If you want to work 16 hours a day, you can persist for 16 hours a day. Elon Musk does that. He works 20 hours a day forever. So you can just persist and solve problems in the direction of your goal until you achieve goals, right? But endurance is how long can you do that? And the longer I can do that, the better I'm going to be off. I'm going to be worth more salt, right? So endurance is the skill you need to build, and endurance happens because I'm not thinking about, man, that rep didn't go bad, that rep didn't work, and I have to look back now and regret it and be sad and be angry at myself that I messed it up. I didn't do a audio check with the microphones, and now I can be angry. Or I can just learn from what happened. I can get better, and I can just move forward without attaching any story to it, except the fact that I pride myself on learning and progressing instead of being perfect every single time. So as long as I can learn and progress, I can celebrate that. I can feel good about myself. Like, that's why I build my ego. That's why I say I pride myself on. Like, I've chosen to build my ego around progress. Okay, this makes you more anti-fragile because failures don't really matter. Mistakes don't matter. You can embarrass yourself now because you can just get up, dust yourself off, learn from something, and move forward. Like, that's your whole thing. That's why I don't get as embarrassed as most people. Like, if I embarrass myself, I just get back up and keep doing the thing. Most people will stop doing the thing and go home. So you can build this anti-fragility. There's a book called Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. And he talks about this idea that as something gets struck, it becomes stronger, and that's anti-fragile. Okay, whereas fragile breaks easy. That's most people's ego, and that's because most people's ego is built around, I want to be perfect. I need to look perfect. I need to look cool. I need to be the funniest, the smartest, the strongest, etc. And mine is just built around, get better, learn more, get funnier, get smarter, be more charismatic next time. Learn from the people that are better than me and just work on myself. Don't compare myself and be sad that I'm not them. They put in work to get there. What work did they do? Let me go do that work. So pride yourself on progress and learning and like raising your hand the fastest, asking the most questions, getting the most creative with your questions, or asking the obvious questions that get the best answers. Like, pride yourself on really getting the best. Like, that's what I want to do. And it makes you a lot stronger, more anti-fragile to failing and stuff. You don't really give a fuck about it anymore. You just like want to learn from it and move forward. But the same with your wins. Like, the wins are fun. You succeeded, and you just want to learn from them and get better and succeed bigger. And that's what you pride yourself on. I think that's how great people think. And I learned that from studying billionaires. And I was saying this, that billionaires are weirdos. Like, they're all weirdos. Nassim Taleb is a fucking weirdo. Naval Ravikant, he's a weirdo. Charlie Munger, he's a weirdo. All of these people are just like pure weirdos. They're just weird in a correct way, right? They're weird in the way that they don't follow the norms when they see that the norms get bad results. And so all the normal people think they're really fucking weird. They're like, why are you not following our norms? And they're like, well, I'm not following your norms because they get bad results. Like, my question is, why are you following your norms? You're like, whose team are you on? Your parents are telling you how to be broke and you're being broke, but I'm telling you to get rich and you're not listening to me. You're listening to your parents and your old programming. Whose team are you on? You don't sound like you're on your own team. Like, don't you want to get rich? That makes no sense. Like, don't you want to get healthy and fit? Yes, I do. Okay, then why don't you study healthy and fit people and take their beliefs? Well, I just don't have time. Whose team are you on? Make time for it. Like, you're not on your own team. I'm on my own team. I'm playing for my own team. People are like, you're self-interested. You're selfish. It's like, yeah. They're like, you're egotistical. I'm like, yeah. But, like, it's not in a bad way. Like, I'm using me to serve people. I'm using me to just... I mean, you can say I'm egotistical, but I'm like, maybe I'm egotistical to you because you don't realize that I'm just confident in pouring into me, knowing that it's the best way for me to help you and other people. So you are, like, saying, I give myself to others. Like, you're egotistical, but I'm like, but I give myself to others. Everything that qualifies you as being humble qualifies me as being humble. But I'm like, I still need to learn. I still need to improve. I still need to, like, actualize my potential for God. Like, he gave me a certain amount of potential. If I don't actualize it by the time I die, it's like, why did I just waste God's creation? So I think our worldviews are just different when people think that I'm egotistical. And, like, I'm able to either rationalize, and that's probably what I'm doing, to say I'm not egotistical, or I don't know. So maybe you're smarter than me and you do know. Probably are. And I think that's the end of the video. Persist, endure, be a bad motherfucker because you need to be great. If you're not great, you're not actualizing God's potential. And have a good day.